The choice is yours, dear people. It always has been. I greet you. It is I, Jesus. You always have a choice, and so you do today. Why? I will explain in a moment. Today's message is intended to offer you hope. Many more messages about the current state of the Ascension process will be relayed through our messenger, so my words may reach you too. It wasn't planned, yet it is my will. It is very important to me to give you words of courage and hope. So I finally turn to Bella Isis. You will discover why I made this decision as this transmission unfolds. But before we delve into the current situation, I would like to return to the past. Not to my incarnation as Jesus, but to my life as one of the priests who sat on the Council of Atlantis. Just as you have left many incarnations behind, and have more ahead of you, I too have embarked on my own journey, experiencing many incarnations along the way. One of those incarnations was in Atlantis. Today, instead of receiving direct impulses from Atlantis, you will receive a message that brings the past and the future together in the present. That is where you are right now. The timing of when you hear my message is irrelevant. It will always exist within the current timeline. This includes the timeline that God Thoth mentioned in his Year of Mercury upload. He also referred to it at the beginning of the year. God Thoth and I did not incarnate at the same time, but I know him from higher dimensions. Bella Isis is smiling at the moment. Why? I will tell you in a moment. She can see the smile in my heart as well. I have many messages for you today. All of them can help you to understand the current situation and give you hope. Although I'm speaking of a different incarnation that is not centered around Jesus, I will nevertheless meet you as Jesus. Listen to the words I spoke before. I said, encounter. That word reflected the feelings I had just experienced with Bella Isis. Wait, it's almost time. If you're curious about what else awaits you today, I advise you to find a comfortable place and listen carefully to my words. You will soon realize what I mean. But it's not that time yet. First, I'm going to tell you one more story that brings my past into the present to show you how patterns repeat themselves. I highly value the wisdom of God Thoth, who has already placed keys in this channel that convey his knowledge in short sequences, as well as messages that can better explain your current state of development. I would simply like to recommend listening to my message and that of Thoth the Atlantean to gain a better understanding of the greater picture. The patterns repeat themselves, albeit differently. The house of cards is beginning to fall, just like back then, just like in Atlantis. The messenger will arrange the messages so that you can access those words directly. You may be surprised to encounter me again in a meditation containing impulses from both the Bermuda Triangle and the priesthood of Atlantis. The revelation will take place when the time is right. The first key has already been transmitted. I have asked the messenger to place all of those messages so that you can easily find them. Bella Isis has embedded everything in the video description. We will now continue our transmission. I mentioned those messages because you can see the connections between the fall of Atlantis and your current situation. I have moved forward and stepped back simultaneously. We will now start our story again in Atlantis. My story begins before those transmission to you. I was a member of a committee, a kind of priesthood, and I was one of the priests responsible for Atlantis. It was my foresight that predicted its downfall, sensing ominous vibrations. There were many attempts to recreate Atlantis on Earth. Initially, the projects went well, but not a single one lasted. I was involved in the final project, but I left the planet again before the catastrophe occurred. For indeed, there was a great flood. Bella Isis knows 2 people who fled the flood at that time, and they are now in her life to offer guidance in this incarnation. The project literally sank. There was a time when Atlantis was at its most vibrant stage, and it was a paradise on earth. Splendor, wealth, and frugality were all present. Magical beings lived in harmony with everything. Spirituality was omnipresent, and a heightened consciousness was highly valued. Everything was peaceful, beautiful, and fabulous before the turning point came and the tide began to turn. Why? Well, the world began to question everything. It investigated and analyzed until ultimately the exploration of spirituality slipped into doubt. That is the short version of my story. The result was that not only did greed and envy take hold, but countless brutal wars also ravaged the land. Life was cruel and harsh. I saw it coming. I felt it. I saw it. I spoke to the source, but free will was granted. Eventually, my time on earth came to an end, and I shifted dimensions once more. That was before the fall of Atlantis, which is still ongoing. Strictly speaking, you are still part of an ongoing project. The traces of Atlantis were flooded and largely destroyed, but not everything. Some memories remain, and Bella Isis even has fragments of them at home. If you're interested in finding out what these objects are, listen to this recording. Larima, Return to Atlantis, Energy Connection with God Though. As I mentioned earlier, many keys are hidden in this channel. The original plan was for Bella Isis to contribute to the topic of the Bermuda Triangle. Due to her earthly learning experiences and the messenger's significant injuries, we have not been able to share this message on the channel until now. Transmitting messages is very exhausting for the messenger, and she hasn't yet been able to connect with the energies of the Bermuda Triangle. The time will come when she can build up the necessary strength. In the second part of my story, which is slowly becoming yours, we will reveal why channeling is so exhausting for the messenger. Are you comfortable? We are approaching today's main message, which is intended to offer hope. But before we turn to that, Bella Isis is smiling again. No, wait, Belle. They will hear it soon enough. Just wait. Be patient. Before we move on to the main message, I would like to introduce the person who is going to convey my message to you today. You are listening to a message from Bella Isis Mitchell. She's a Pleiadian who has incarnated on Earth as a human, and she has come here not only to bestow magical wonders upon you, but also to teach you how to perceive the wonders of the world around you. Today, you can experience for yourself how vividly the messenger conveys her message using her Pleiadian abilities, and how closely she collaborates with us beings of higher dimensions. That is why Bella Isis has been smiling the whole time. I touched her head, and she responded with childlike joy. You should know that I usually make Bella Isis laugh, and today is no exception. Her heart opens with joy. If you sit quietly and listen to me with your heart, you will also notice how the energy around you changes. I have been aware of you all along. You, listening to my words. I see you because I am with you. I have been with you since the very beginning, when I first introduced myself. The words I used then hinted at our upcoming encounter. Soon, you too will feel me caressing the fingers of your right hand, as Bella Isis could sense. Belle laughed again. She is a very open Pleiadian, and she loves her openness. I don't know her from Atlantis, because she never lived there, unless you count the demise of this project, which is currently coming to a close. Bella Isis had a life in Lemuria. She wonders where she has met me before. Strictly speaking, it was Bella Isis who knew of my existence, but I didn't meet her until the Council of Light began considering which beings she should collaborate with to deliver the keys of light to humanity. Bella Isis shed her Pleiadian body in order to help people reactivate their psychic abilities when they require assistance. Even today, you will be amazed at what you are capable of. As I said before, you always have a choice. I met Bella Isis in countless sessions held with the Council of Light. There, she also met Buddha, who, like me, was considered her spirit guide. It was through these sessions that I met Bella Isis, and I was honored to know her as an open and warm-hearted Pleiadian, with beautiful blue skin, a feline nose, and pointed ears like those typically seen among elves. In her true Pleiadian form, Bella Isis has black hair, which she usually wears in plaits and twists. Pearls are often woven into her long, flowing hair, and she also likes to wear feathers from the species native to her home world. This is how I came to know Bella Isis, an open and warm-hearted Pleiadian. She left her family to help on Earth. Today, I have the pleasure of sharing a vivid adventure with you, alongside this extraterrestrial messenger. Breathe calmly and evenly. I will reveal myself to you, for I am always with you, and I always will be. My love surrounds you like a protective cloak, comforting you in difficult times. I will now convey my message about the dimensional shift to you through the messenger's transmission. You will not only hear my message, you will also feel it. My introduction covers Atlantis. We have taken a journey into the past, and now we move into the present. If you recognize the present, I assure you that you can shape your future. The present moment is what matters. But how can you focus when confronted only with illusions in the external world? There is a trick, dear humans, and it is called trust. Trust, confidence, and hope are divine qualities that will guide you through these dark times. The other side's game is intensifying. But listen to the Arcturian's message to recognize that everything has its purpose. The message I am delivering today complements the words recently delivered by the Arcturians in this channel. God Thoth explained how patterns of decay manifest outwardly. The Arcturians reported on the current state matters. I bring you hope by showing you how to make your vision of the future a reality. For anything is possible. Ultimately, you are divine beings. This decay is manifesting itself outwardly, and it couldn't be clearer. You shy away from witnessing this decay, but don't cling to the old ways. Let them go. Darkness destroys itself through its rage, unbridled nature and stubbornness. They believe they can intimidate you with words and deeds and show you even more gruesome things in the outside world. But they have forgotten one thing. You are beings of light. If you turn inward, as God Thoth foretold, you will overcome the shadows cast by your beacon of light. You will find this key in the post about shadow themes on this channel. It is important to stay true to yourselves and to remember that all of these things presented to you through illusory tricks in the external world will ultimately contribute to the collapse of the old hierarchy. For unfreedom is not a divine principle. It simply shows that the other side must exist in order to perceive the positive example. There are always two sides. You are worried about what will happen next and where this journey will lead you. Even if you currently see much decay in the external world, this is also a sign for you that the old is being dismantled. This immense pressure that you are currently experiencing externally is being sanctioned by divine forces. It is sanctioned because it serves a purpose. The darkness is not only destroying itself through its act of self-display, but it is also playing a necessary part. For it is through this pressure that you are currently experiencing that many souls who are still asleep are beginning to realize that a false game is being played. Through this pressure, insights can arise, provided you do not allow yourselves to be drawn too deeply into the games of darkness. If you focus entirely on what the other side is saying, they will inevitably gain momentum. But it is up to you to trust that everything will work out. You may notice price increases around you, and in many ways, your life may seem like a struggle for survival as you feel held captive by the system. But not everything can be taken from you. You can respond to the consequences imposed on you from the outside. Respond with hope, trust, confidence, and the radiance of your hearts. Yes, times ahead might be hard, but this is only the beginning. The situation will intensify, especially next year. Next year marks a turning point. The messenger will convey more on this to you. I will not comment further at this time. One thing is certain, Isis will reveal many more messages about the current state of affairs, as well as events in the future that are already influencing your present. Isis is a Pleiadian. She perceives time differently when she concentrates. In her homeland, everything is interconnected. Time is not measured. But you have often heard this in the messenger's posts and books. Time can also be a limiting factor that you should try to overcome. It's about overcoming limitations. Yes, you are under external pressure and being cornered. But if you try to escape, things only seem to get worse. Why do you escape? Why don't you respond to the pressure? I will tell you how you can do that. It's up to you to strengthen the mental aspect of yourself. Accept the challenge placed in front of you as a gift. You came to Earth to grow, to become stronger, and to help your soul experience moments of awakening from delusion. You chose this path yourselves. You have always had the choice. Even now, you can shape your path so that it turns out for the best. Let me explain this in more detail. Others are trying to distract you from your true purpose by encouraging you to engage in various activities. I am speaking to you now, awakened souls who listen to my words. The darkness uses delusion to deceive you so that you concern yourselves only with external events, many of which are nothing more than an illusion. Have you ever seen an illusionist perform mental tricks that leave their audience not only speechless, but also convinced that what they saw really happened? Magicians on your 3D plane master tricks that can leave you in awe. These shows bring your imagination to life. Their purpose is to amaze you and remind you that there is more to life through their tricks. So, these skills are used for good. Then, there's the other side of the coin, where illusion is used to show you things that people want you to believe are true. Please listen to my last sentence again. It's important that you understand and grasp this. I will repeat it. Please listen carefully. You are shown events and things that they want you to believe are real, but they are illusions. They don't actually happen, but they appear real. This topic is quite complex. We will try to explain more about illusion at a later date to help you understand it better, but not today. It would broaden the scope of our current possibilities too much. My primary concern is simply that you recognize this point exists within your realms. However, you have a choice right now. You always have a choice. You could watch the illusionist shows in your world with your mouth wide open, remaining completely mystified. But be warned, you will be blinded and distracted from your task. The other option is to recognize that they are using tricks to try to capture your attention. Whether you watch, listen to, or participate in this show is up to you. If you get too worked up or worried, you are actively listening to and participating in their performance. Alternatively, if you recognize that all this pressure is actually a call to urgently find your way back to yourself and thus to your power, then not only will you reduce the audience of the other side through your active passivity, but you will also contribute to shaping a new world. It's difficult, I see you. I understand you. It's hard to stay positive when so many of you listening to me today don't know how you are going to survive, pay your bills, or what the future holds. My dear ones, stop dwelling on your worries. It's an art to strengthen your mind and trust that everything will come to you at the right moment. But you have this power within you. I tell you, you come from the center of absolute love and absolute creation. Thus, you are part of creation itself. This love flows through you, making you part of this infinite love. This love enables you to radiate strength and power, allowing you to confront illusion. You are brave enough to achieve everything your heart desires. Your heart is strong and mighty. You simply need to find the courage to believe in yourselves and open your hearts in trust. Many of you may experience a sense of lack, but I tell you, this is not possible in your true home in the higher dimensions. Throughout your incarnations, you have chosen to experience both poverty and wealth. You have chosen to know both the light and the dark. These experiences have shaped you. You are returning to your deepest self. You recognize who you are, where you come from, and where you are going. Everything unites in the now, my dear ones. Everything unites in the now. Trust the forces that are with you. Trust that you are guided. Decay is omnipresent on your plane. The darkness is destroying itself. Give it the opportunity. It has chosen this path of its own free will. The darkness is destroying itself. Remember that whenever too much pressure builds up, people begin to take action. Those who listen to my words should hear them only with love. You are rising to greatness, but this rise should happen peacefully, coming only from the heart. You will rise by seeing yourselves as wonderful and recognizing that all of these are merely learning experiences. You are allowed to be shaped by them. It is the pressure that shapes you so that you can return to your power. It is this energy that enables you to recognize your own worth, love, and divinity, and rise up. Answer the darkness with light, and your world will shine. The darkness will be redeemed. Have faith and trust. You may trust that you are well guided. All of you, each and every one of you, no one is forgotten. You are all infinitely loved and guided. Trust in your guidance. Focus on yourselves. Look inwards rather than outwards. I understand that this is difficult from your perspective. Many of you are struggling to survive, not knowing how to pay your bills anymore. But beloved lights, the time has come when more and more people are waking up. In this spirit, recognize how important it is to love your neighbor and share. Many of you are experiencing scarcity, but this is a life experience. Trust that everything you need will come to you, and always at the right time. Take courage, dear one. The messenger also bestows messages of hope upon you, which she shares openly and freely. You can draw strength from so many messages of hope and words of comfort, healing, and redemption. Yes, the redemption of yourselves. Free yourselves from illusion and accept all the gifts that come your way. People will realize that there is enough for everyone. They will recognize the true value of omnipresence, and those who have much will share with those who need help during the transition. This is how it is meant to be. Trust. Share with those in need and accept what is given to you by those who are generous. Accept what is given to you and pass it on to help others. Beloved beings, the fact that the old must completely let go is inevitable. In higher dimensions, the kind of market economy you know here does not exist. Remember the words of Ariel from Jupiter, who offered glimpses into her realm in Bella Isis' second book. Remember that the world, as it is currently presented to you, is a stage displaying the illusionist's skill in achieving absolute perfection. It is up to you to expose the illusionist's tricks and thus strip the show of its fascination. Trust that anything that does not align with your path will dissolve. Darkness destroys itself. Give it this opportunity. Recognize that the life you are currently living has been a lesson, but your soul yearns for something greater. It yearns for freedom. You are free being. It is an illusion that seeks to show you something different. I understand you, beings of light. I was once human myself, not just once, in fact. I have often left my mark on your planet, just as many of you have visited Earth many times before to major. So it is now. Accept the challenge of resisting the pressure by focusing on your inner freedom. Try it. You can strengthen yourself more and more through positive affirmations and beliefs. Practice every day if you wish. It can help you. Find your way back to your inner and outer greatness. Find your way back to yourself. When you recognize who you are, you will have found what you have been searching for all along. Yourself.